All right, guys, so we're going to play a little dating game, actually, here.
Okay.
We're going to do the Browns free agent wide receiver dating game, and it starts by you guys writing down on your board the number one option in your mind of all the potential free agents, not Terrell Owens, Tyvis, erase that. Let's be serious here, guys. Who you would want the Browns to pair with Amari Cooper and free agent. Now, these could be guys who you think get tagged. For this, we're putting everyone. So write a name on your board and then put it face down. We'll revisit it in a sec after we play this game.
My name is in.
Is everyone locked in their name? Jay's locked in. G's locked in. Tyvis.
Is it possible we all have a different name?
Yes.
There is. I know who Tyvis is saying, and I know it's not who you said, so I can assure you we're not unanimous.
You don't know who I said.
Well, I know it's not who Tyvis said because Tyvis
Okay.
is off. Tyvis
Okay.
just wrong.
Oh, okay.
And here's how it's going to work. So now you guys have those boards face down. Boy, you can put it on the table. I'm going to give you guys a list of contestants and some characteristics about each contestant. And you're going to see at the end if the contestant you would want the Browns to pair up with Amari Cooper is the contestant you wrote on your board beforehand. Are you guys ready?
Mike, how
Proceed.
many times during this process will I say to you, we need better context?
At least 12. At least 12. Steve, hit the music. And let's start dating. Contestant
This is like the
number
dating
one.
show. The dating game.
I searched long and hard on Universal to find dating music. Steve,
6'4".
contestant one.
Oh, I know who that
This
is.
receiver is 6'4" and runs a 4.52 40-yard dash. He finished top 15 in the NFL this year in both
I know who that
receptions
is.
and yards. He has a 36-inch vertical jump. He's coming off the best statistical season of his career.
Did he?
Guys, this is contestant number one.
Can we say who it is?
No,
Oh, okay.
you can take a guess. I won't confirm, but you can take a guess.
It's Michael Pittman.
Maybe, maybe not. You'll
Who
find
you
out soon.
thinking?
Are you guys ready for
That's
contestant
who I
number two?
thought.
No, it definitively is Michael Pittman.
Could be. Maybe he's not. Contestant number two, Steve, you ready? Let's go. This wide receiver is a Super Bowl
we
And I
champion.
know who that
know
is,
who
too.
that is.
Yeah.
He's a two-time second-team All-Pro, a five-time Pro Bowler, is a first-round pick.
Well, we know who that is.
Could be interesting. Could be a nice little choice. Steve, let's go number three. This player is a two-time first-team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler. He's led the NFL in receptions twice, and he won a national championship in college.
I think I know who that is.
Okay, how many are there?
7.
Oh, 7.
7.
Wow.
A lot of options. Steve, contestant number 4. This player ran a 4.27 40-yard dash. He was the first receiver drafted in his draft class. He has a career-long touchdown of 83 yards, and in his career against the Browns has nearly 300 receiving yards and a touchdown. Contestant number 5, Steve, was a top 10 draft pick. Led the NFL in yards per reception once. He won a national championship in college. He played with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Contestant number 6 has at least 5 receiving touchdowns in every season of his career. Has 3 touchdowns in 7 career playoff games. Who also won a national championship in college. Is a big play threat. A 50-yard or longer touchdown in every season of his career. And last but not least, Steve, contestant number 7.
Oh, I know who that is.
A second-team All-Pro one time. He was a first-round draft pick, won 2 national championships,
Jeez.
and ran a 4.43 40-yard dash.
So we're supposed to say which of those would best fit into the Browns?
Based off their characteristics.
Okay.
I
What do
would
you
say
think?
there's almost nothing in those characteristics that would help me make a decision.
I know my.
Well, no, there could be
To
like.
me, in my opinion.
My
What about
answer-
if the guy if it's Mike Evans and he's been around for 10 seasons?
Well,
Yeah,
he-
I'm just
he
saying,
was-
like-
I think he was
like-
contestant number 3.
Somebody getting a Pro Bowl 6 years ago, that's who cares?
Number 4.
Right.
No, let me see number 4.
So
again.
he needs more
Tyvis
context.
wants to see contestant number 4.
It's either 4 or 5.
Let's see contestant number 4,
Mm-hmm.
please.
He ain't number 4. That ain't
Hold
four.
on. No, wait a minute. I got. It's either 4 or 5.
This
That's
is
my
contestant
right
number
there.
4, Tyvis.
That's my answer.
All right.
And let me.
That's
we
my
do-
answer.
Can we do rapid 5 and 6 real quick?
Steve, yeah, let's say contestant number 5, please.
No, 6, please.
And contestant number 6.
Is that Mike?
I think we should be able. I think we should be able to ask the contestants questions,
Sure.
just like the dating game.
I'll try to answer to the best of my ability.
Contestant
I
Okay,
cannot
number
promise.
contestant number 1.
Okay, Steve, take contestant
See,
number
now
1.
all of this is being done under the assumption that they're not going to get tagged,
Yes,
and some of these are going to get tagged.
potentially. You
Yeah.
can't
At least I think at least one.
No, contestant number 4 will not.
No, I don't think he will either. I want to ask contestant number 1.
Yes, sir.
What kind of offense are you most comfortable in?
I grew up on the West Coast, So maybe a West Coast offense.
Very good.
That's a good answer.
Great
That's very
answers. Yeah.
Any other questions? You get 1 question per contestant.
No, contestant number 6. Was your 40 time about just under 4.6?
I believe that's accurate. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Contestant number 5. What is your injury history?
I plead the 5th.
I know you do because I know who it is.
Funny you take the 5th and you're contestant number 5.
Contestant number 4.
Yeah, you're way too injured. I don't want this guy.
Contestant number 4. Were you excited when the Ravens lost this weekend?
To be honest, I went to Hollywood and threw a party.
Hey, I see what you did there.
All right, so,
All right, so contestant Jay, who would you pick?
I want contestant number 1.
So he took contestant number 1. Steve, our first reveal. Jay, hold your board up. And Jay nailed it. It is Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Jay, congratulations.
MPJ, not DPJ. MPJ.
G. Bush, which contestant did you like the best?
Of course. You already know what I said, man.
Hollywood. Oh my goodness, he went with contestant number 4. Steve, you could reveal 4 here.
Yeah.
Reveal Brown. Yep.
I like that he went.
Everybody's
Tyvus
got a
also-
different guy.
Come on now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone will have a different guy.
Come on now.
Marquise Brown.
now.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Come on now.
Oh, no. They got the same guy?
I told we have a pact.
Come on now.
We have a silent pact that we're not bringing no 4.5s in here.
No. Everybody else is the problem with the offense now. That's what we need right
It
there.
is what we need. That's,
Yeah. Well, my first
Bo,
choice
wait, which
is not a
contestant did you
4.5. He's a 4.6. Here we go. But he's the best player of the bunch.
he is. I think he is the best player of the bunch.
He is the best player of the bunch.
And even though Mike said, let's just take out of the equation that the cap or the franchise tag, I can't.
He's out here.
I don't think it's 100% certain the Bengals are going to franchise
I do.
him.
They're dumb if they
I think it's
don't.
likely.
If they don't,
They're dumb.
then they stumbled into
that's
success,
dumb.
and they're gonna work their way back into failure.
What
Now,
pick in the
listen,
draft?
They've been, as much as I don't like Mike Brown, they have almost all their decisions in the last 3 or 4 years have been extremely smart.
if they let him go,
Well,
it
listen,
undoes a lot of that.
I don't agree with that, but
Tee Higgins.
What pick
I
do
think
they
they
got?
will probably franchise.
Let me ask it. Ty, let me ask
reason-
I
this
hope they
first.
don't.
What reason would they not?
Did you get? Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase
who
it.
else got
money?
I think it's
Money.
No. I think it's possible they could franchise him and trade him.
Why?
To get something for it.
Yeah, because he's going to leave in a year after anyway.
Well, let me ask you
Well,
guys
no,
this first.
can't you
All right, go
tag
ahead,
a
man.
player 2
Twice.
years in a row?
2 years.
I
yes.
guess he could.
So I mean, that would
Yeah.
kick the can down the road on that.
I'm just saying, I don't think
Did
it's
you guys-
100% certain, but
Did you guys see the part of the Quincy Avery and Deshaun Watson
have it.
podcast? Oh, you have it?
Yeah, we'll play it for you in 1 second.
Where he,
We'll
want,
go
where he want
through,
T. Higgins.
and
He
we'll
doesn't
go
want
around-
T. Higgins. He wants to marry T.
If that's the case, tell him to cut his salary a little bit.
Well, that's why he's got to redo his salary.
This
He's
is
gotta redo his
Deshaun
contract.
Watson with Quincy Avery on their podcast, QB
Okay.
Unplugged, talking about T. Higgins.
All right.
can't
He's
hear
at,
anything.
he's at a loss of words.
Oh,
Steve
what's
wants
up
to turn
with us,
sound
man?
down.
I know you was down the road. It's family ties. You know, Avery afraid to. Saying
that chick.
you don't get the ball. We want to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pass it a lot. You know what I'm saying? To Chubb and
70%.
Ford.
He ain't got to leave the
30.
state. He ain't got to leave the state.
And we're gonna take good care
Might
of you.
be
The
80-20
Cleveland
like
fans
Brown.
gonna love you. They gonna love you to death. And we got the Clemson ties. We didn't get to play with each other, but this is our opportunity. So like, man, come on over to the land. Man. We get lit over here. I'm telling you. You said you already know what's up.
First of all, Quincy Avery didn't shut up the whole interview. Number 2, G and Jay were talking as if nobody could hear them while we were trying
Oh,
to
no, we weren't open, were we? I don't
weren't
think our
open.
mics were open.
You guys are always open.
Oh, you're always open.
Why are you keeping our mics open during a soundbite?
You got to talk to Director Steve on
Yeah,
that.
we should always be closed during the soundbite.
Let me explain what we was talking about. We was laughing. We laughed yesterday because he said he's going to throw the ball a lot. I said
Yeah.
70-30 is a lot. I said it might be 80-20 like lean ground beef.
We don't have an audio guy. It's Steve trying to click buttons and do stuff. And
All right, I'll let him off the hook for that. Because
let-
he's a good enough director to
Mike
know
is
that obviously
unfair.
the talent's Mike should die.
Bull, real quick, let me go around the horn, though.
Okay.
And we'll
Yeah.
start with you, Jay. We'll end with Bull because Higgins will do a bigger talking off point. You chose Michael Pittman
I did.
over everyone else. Why Pittman over guys like Higgins, Evans, Ridley, Thomas, those guys?
Again, I couldn't play along with your pretend exercise. I work in abstract. I work in reality. I in my real world. And look, I hope Cincinnati doesn't franchise him. If they don't, I think Cleveland has I think they would be the team to get him, because you just heard their quarterback, who we've already decided we're going to give the keys to the castle. Who do you want? What do you want? And if you paid attention, and maybe you couldn't hear it because G and I were running our yaps.
Yeah.
But one of the things that stood out to me about that is, well, we're going to throw the ball.
Oh, a lot.
We're going to throw it a lot. So that explains a lot of the things that have happened recently. AVP out. Ken Dorsey, throw-heavy coordinator, in. They have told him, what do you want to do? That's what we're going to do.
But Pittman's just as likely to be franchised as Higgins.
That's what I was
I believe you're right, but I don't know that I believe that. I believe that of the two, I think that, in my mind, Pittman's more likely to be available than...
I actually would disagree, because at least the Bengals have Tee Higgins is the Bengals' number 2 receiver. Pittman is the Colts' number 1.
Yes, but if you look at what Cincinnati does, and you know it better than anybody, they are, I call them the three amigos. You've got to keep these three together.
I
Chase,
agree.
Higgins, and Burrow. That's a championship core.
I agree. I still think
the stakes are higher for Cincinnati. They're a Super Bowl contender if they keep Higgins. The Colts are not if they bring Michael Pittman back.
I don't think they see it that way.
Well, maybe they don't.
But
I don't.
I think they're both very unlikely to be on the market. But I think it's equal. I do. But
I just think Cincinnati is in a position to compete for a Super Bowl.
You know who is going to be on the market?
Who?
Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
So, Ty, why was he your pick? And G, you two, tell us why
because
Hollywood Brown over everybody else.
Because one, we need to stretch the field. We've been talking about that for 2 years. So, and that's the one thing that's missing on this roster too. If a quarterback says we're gonna throw the ball a bunch of times, Deshaun Watson wants to throw the deep ball. We know Amari Cooper's really good, but that. He's getting up there in age. You need a guy a deep threat that somebody is like, oh my God, it's Hollywood Brown I'm checking. Let me back up. That creates so much space for everybody else to eat. And Deshaun Watson is one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. Let him throw the deep ball to a guy that can get the ball. That he can get down there and make some plays.
He just said it so eloquently, and I'm just piggyback that and just throw some more on the top of it. It's Operation Stockpile. I want DeAndre Hopkins too on top of that. I want
sign a
both of
2-year
them.
deal.
I think he did.
I think he did too.
By the way, you know what the best thing about Marquise Brown is? He and I share a birthday.
Well, then we got to get him.
Wow.
Gotta get him.
You got to get this guy in.
I want him and Ridley.
If we took Pittman and Higgins out of it as the two guys likely to be franchise tag, Marquise Brown would be my top choice.
What are the red flags with Marquise Brown?
He get hurt.
You hurt?
Over Calvin Ridley.
How many times games has he missed?
I'm about to
for
say,
me-
it's either Ridley or Brown for me.
No, listen.
I would.
I want both.
I want both too.
He wants
What are you
everything.
talking about?
I want both too.
I want both. Listen, figure it out.
Because at the end of the day, Amari Cooper's getting older. Ridley is what, 28, 29? 28?
Yeah.
I
Something
think
like
he's
that.
really close, but maybe a little younger.
So they
than
got
Cooper.
that. They got that Alabama connection right there.
Man.
Sure.
Go ahead, let them roll Tide for a year together.
Right.
And after this year, Calvin really can be a legit number 1 wide receiver.
I need all
Amari
of
Cooper
them.
will probably be done, and you already had your transition. But I still want Hollywood Brown for the
need
reason
all-
you can stretch the field.
Don't sell me. I'm gonna lose it. Don't sell me on you throwing the ball. You saying all this? I'm gonna throw the ball. We got all these dudes. No, we don't. You can't throw the ball with David Bell. I don't want to hear nothing. You got Amari Cooper.
Why are you bringing David Bell into this? Mr. 3 touchdowns on the season.
Okay,
David
well,
Bell.
listen,
What you
I'm
talking about?
gonna strike him for the records. He ain't even on the team. Then,
3
in my mind.
touchdowns, 3 games.
Marquise Brown, guys, has not missed as many games as I thought.
How many did he play this past year?
So this
14.
year he played 14 out of 17.
I would have said it was lower.
You know
I would
what?
have said about 10.
When I think about
Last year, hold on one second. Last year he played 12, so he missed 5 games.
Yeah.
In 2021 he missed 1 game, but that was at Baltimore. He may have just sat out the last game.
Yeah.
And in 2020 he played every game. So he's only missed more than 3 games once in the last 4 years.
I think that when I think about Marquise Brown, I think about the fact that Lamar Jackson went to the bathroom, came back, and threw a game-winning touchdown against the Cleveland Browns to Hollywood Brown.
That's a fact.
That's what I think about.
Didn't just go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
He made a mess.
I'm surprised no one picked Mike Evans. in a perfect world.
I like Mike Evans, but I'm worried about the age.
He ain't leaving.
I'm worried about the age.
The person
and he had some drops this year that were uncharacteristic.
He
drops
did
for
last
him.
year with Tom Brady too.
With Brady and with Baker this year, he dropped some passes.
And if you sign in Baker Mayfield, why would you not have a receiver to throw the ball to? Like,
yeah, they've got to keep their trio together.
To be honest with you, out of everybody on that list, if injury wasn't a factor, I'd take Mike Williams. Big play, Mike.
Yeah,
you could throw it up there.
Yeah,
Mike Williams.
His injury history.
That's why what did I start it off by saying?
He's been hurt since middle school.
If injury wasn't a thing, I would take Mike Williams over all of them.
That man be hurt every week.
He do. Yeah, he do. This might be the year he stay healthy though.
What about Mike Thomas? Tyvis, your former teammate.
Michael Thomas.
Listen, Mike ain't been healthy
By the
either. If Mike can stay healthy, yeah, that'd be nice.
Mike Williams also hasn't missed as many games as I thought.
Yeah, really?
Now last year he missed basically the
I'm
whole
about to say he
season.
missed the whole. Did he tear the ACL or something?
Besides last year, in 2022 he missed 4 games.
That's a third of or fourth of the season.
2021 he missed 1. 2020 he missed 1, and 2019 he missed 1. So
I think what's in our mind is most recent.
this year. Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean he's missed.
I'd take Mike Williams.
He's missed.
players
18
usually
games
don't
the
get
last 2
healthier
years.
when they get older.
I'm not going to take a receiver.
And by the way, Mike Williams is older than you think. I'm shocked by this.
31.
No, not that old.
Okay,
But
'cause-
I thought he was like 26, 27.
I would have had him 28 or 29.
He's 20. He'll turn 30 during the season.
Oh,
Mike
no.
Williams.
Oh, never mind.
I didn't know.
never mind.
I got to get
And that's early in the season.
I didn't know that.
I got to get a glory hands. Oh no. Oh,
Yeah, I'm not taking a 30-year-old injury.
I did not know
No,
that.
no.
I mean, I would take Mike Evans. The guy's still a great player. Yeah, he had a few drives and 13 touchdowns.
Here's the thing. I'm tired of seeing receivers box out. Box some. Hey, throw me a back
What
shoulder.
you mean? That man go up and get it.
Throw me a back shoulder. That means you can't get no separation. If they got to throw back shoulders to you and everybody all draped over your body, I don't want that. No, I need somebody wide open.
I think in the end, guys, realistically, Pittman and Higgins will probably be off the market, and Marquise Brown and Ridley make the most sense. They're both speed receivers. But I would lean with you to take Brown over.
Like Creed.
over
What
Ridley.
arms wide open? That's what I need.
Somebody
Touchdown.
wide open.
Wide open.
I think what we could agree on is, in your vein of Operation Stockpile, like it better be 2. I said,
Ridley and Brown,
I
man.
said that Andrew Berry saw after the 22 season, we have 2 gaping holes on this roster. Middle of the defensive line and wide receiver. Instead of sprinkling magical dust on both, he went Operation Stockpile Part 1 on the D line, and this year's priority and number 1 objective is to go out and get the wide receivers to make that core.
But they're not going to spend big on 2 wide receivers, and they don't need to.
See, here's the thing.
Why don't they?
Here's the thing. They do need to. They need the talent. But
What did you see?
you know what I think they're going to do? They're going to, instead of the cars on the still used car lot, but they're certified used, certified new, or pre-owned.
Pre-owned.
They're not going to be in that certified pre-owned market because these guys are very expensive.
To be
They're
honest-
going to be in the lower tier sedan market, and they're going to try to do like they did with the defensive line. They didn't. I think Zadarius Smith was a name that we all got excited about falsely. You even pointed out his production had dropped off. I think what they're going to do is bring in 3 guys that we've all heard of, but they're not on the certified pre-owned lot.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, you may be right. I don't like it. If they sign a guy, again, let's assume that Higgins and Pittman are not on the board. If they sign Ridley or Brown, I'm not expecting them to also sign Mike Evans. That's not realistic.
No way are they going to get 3 of these 7.
That's what I'm saying.
Mike, what's the date on the franchise tag? Is it March 15th?
I don't know. No, it's got to be before that because
they gonna sign one out of free agent. They're gonna draft one in the second round.
Well, they're definitely going to draft one in the second round.
That makes sense.
That is
watch this.
That's how they're gonna draft.
However, guys,
they can't. You cannot miss
but
on that
here's what
second
scares
round
me.
pick.
That pick is late in the second round, which means it's awfully close to the third round, and we know their track record at third round drafting.
Who are the other guys on your board, by the way?
Say it
The
again?
difference between the second
Was
and the
Will
third.
Fuller one of the guys on your
8
board?
picks.
No. The guys
so
on the
what?
board were
It's still in
Pittman,
the second. Don't
Evans,
do that.
Michael
Don't
Thomas,
do that.
Hold on,
Hollywood
let me
Brown.
just, guys, can I just hear this? I want to hear the other guys that were on the board that we didn't talk about. Who else was it?
I mean, the 7 we made graphics were Pittman, Evans, Michael Thomas, Hollywood Brown, Mike Williams, Tee Higgins, Calvin Ridley. Those were the 7.
Michael Thomas. I'm no
Well,
interest in.
whoa.
Buckeye-
Are you
Buckeye
talking
hate.
about?
A shot.
You talking about national champion Mike?
No,
Thomas?
I'm talking about he's shot Mike Thomas.
He's not shot. He just
completely
He
shot.
just hasn't been healthy in 3
And
or 4
how old
years.
is he at this point?
29.
He's 28.
Hey, man, he's a
Really? He's younger than Mike Williams. That's
About to turn 29.
Did he come out a
About
year
to turn
early?
that.
He did, I think.
Yes, he did.
That's why he seems older than he
Hey,
is.
Mike Thomas out here, another basketball player. We ain't boxing out here. We're not
Whoa,
having you do
whoa,
sit-down routes.
Whoa, we need a possession receiver. Mike Thomas, if it touched Mike's hands, Mike catching it.
Oh, wait, no. I was looking at the Mike. He's
If it
30
touched
years old.
Mike's hands, Mike
30?
catching it.
He's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's older. Yeah,
That's
you're.
the line of demarcation, isn't it?
Mike Thomas wasn't fast when he was at Ohio State.
He was not.
by the way,
at all.
First
but
of all,
okay.
he's not. He's about to turn 31 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Number 2, you know how many games he's played the last 4 years?
10.
I'd say he's averaged 6.
10.
He's been out a lot, man.
He's played 20. He's averaged 5 games a year over the last
Yeah.
4 years.
That's
been
why.
out a
And he's going to be
lot.
31? No. He's
Yeah,
done.
great.
He's not even getting a job, I don't think.
Listen. If it touched Mike's hands, Mike catching it.
Yeah, hey, look.
Oh, someone will take a chance on him. He's not going to get a big contract.
Not at all. He already
I mean,
hit a
nobody
big.
gave Jarvis
He already
Landry a
had $100
chance.
million. If it touched Mike's hands, Mike
Okay,
catching
great.
it.